The pain comes first as a tightness in the young female's belly. She stops grooming her mate, her dull, intelligent eyes widening with a confusion that is older than thought. This is Ella. This is her first time. She makes a low sound. A grunt of discomfort that cuts through the placid afternoon air of the Pliocene. The old matriarch, look, lifts her head. Her scarred face is a mask of ancient knowledge, and she recognizes the scent of fear, the subtle shift in Ella's posture. There is no celebration. There is only a new and terrible vulnerability. Life million years ago is not given. It is taken, snatched from the jaws of a world that is always hungry. The clan, a small band of Australopithecus, feels the change instantly. The desultory foraging ceases. The soft calls of communication die. A silent alarm ripples through the 20 or so individuals who make up their world. The dominant male, Kale, rises to his full height, his bipedalist, the trait that defines these human ancestors, gives him a precious view over the swaying yellow grass. He sees nothing, but he feels everything. The air itself seems to thicken. He issues a shout. Gasulba, and the other males respond. They begin to move, not in a panic, but with a grim purpose that has been etched into their instincts by a million years of prehistoric life. They gather stones, heavy and smooth, from a nearby streamlet. They tear thick branches from the acacia trees that form their temporary shelter. These are not yet the sophisticated ancient tools of later hominids, but in their hands, they are the difference between life and death. They form a loose, wary circle around the grove where Ruck has led the laboring female. This is the brutal calculus of survival for early humans. The arrival of one life puts all other lives at risk. Inside the thorny perimeter, the other females huddle close to Ella. They do not understand the biology of what is happening, but they understand the primal fear. They groom her, their fingers moving through her thick hair, offering the silent, profound comfort of social cohesion. The sun begins its descent, painting the sky in violet hues of orange and red. With the fading light comes the true danger. The wind shifts, and it carries a new scent from the grove, the coppery tang of blood and birth. It is a signal, an invitation broadcast across the savannah. Every predator for miles will catch that scent. The deep, rumbling cough of a Dinofelis, the saber-toothed cat, echoes from a distant ravine. The clan tenses. The vigil has begun. The infant's first cry, when it finally comes, is not a sound of joy. It is a beacon in the growing darkness, and the price of protecting it will be paid by them all. The night does not offer silence. It offers sound. The rustle of grass is no longer the wind, but the movement of a hunter. A distant hyena's whoop is a question being asked of the darkness, and the answer is the scent of new blood, a scent the clan cannot mask. Kale stands at the edge of the thorny grove, a heavy stone in his hand. His knuckles are white. He, and the other males, are a living rule. Their entire strategy is a bluff, a projection of strength they do not truly possess. It is one of the oldest survival skills in the long epic of human evolution. They stamp their feet. They bark into the oppressive blackness. They brandish their branches. They are noise and aggression, a desperate attempt to persuade the things that watch from the shadows that the cost of this meal is too high. Then, a near presence. Two yellow eyes materialize at the very edge of the starlight's reach. The Dinofelis. It is not large like the cats that will come later, but it is built with a terrifying efficiency of muscle and fang. It moves with a liquid patience, circling their makeshift camp, testing the air. It is intelligent. It can sense the fear, the exhaustion, the singular focus on the grove's interior. Kale lets out a guttural roar, a sound torn from his very core, and hurls a stone. It thuds uselessly into the dirt a dozen paces short of the cat. But the message is sent. The cat melts back into the darkness, but it does not leave. The vigil is a war of nerves, and sleep is a traitor. Daylight brings no real relief, only a different kind of anxiety. The small area around the camp is quickly stripped of tubers and edible insects. The foragers, mostly females with their own young clinging to their backs, must now venture further out. Their movements are quick, frantic. Every snap of a twig sends them scrambling back towards the relative safety of the group. An older male, one-eyed and weary, stands guard for them. A lonely sentry on a termite mound, his head constantly swiveling. This is the delicate, unspoken contract of their social cohesion. He protects them while they gather, and they will bring food back for the guards like Kale, who cannot leave their posts. An old female returns with a handful of grubs and pushes them towards Kale. He eats them without ceremony, his eyes never leaving the perimeter. This is altruism stripped to its barest, most essential from a shared investment in tomorrow. Anna remains weak, consumed by the overwhelming biological mandate to nurse her infant. That tiny, demanding life is the anchor holding them in this dangerous place. A precious, fragile burden that is draining the entire clan's will to live. Their hominid history is being written in these moments of shared endurance. For suns have risen and set. The ground inside the perimeter is bare earth, stripped of every root and grub. The water from a nearby puddle is gone. Hunger is now a predator, as patient as the cat. The clan's ribs show through their matted fur, and their movements are sluggish, their threat displays weaker. The infant's cries have quieted, replaced by the constant, draining need to feed from a mother who is herself starving. Rock watches Ella. She sees the dullness in the young mother's eyes, the slight tremble in her arms as she holds her child. The old matriarch understands the brutal math. The sanctuary has become a tomb. To stay is to die slowly. To move is to risk dying quickly. This is the pivot upon which their entire hominid history turns. Ruck makes no sound. She simply rises, walks to Ella, and touches her arm. The gesture is unequivocal. Relief. A current of silent understanding passes through the group. Kale gathers the other males. They know the plan because it is the only plan there is. Their survival as opportunistic omnivores depends on this terrifying mobility. They form a diamond, a moving shield of bodies. Kale takes the point, his bare stone clutched in his fist. Two other males guard the flanks. The rear is taken by the old, one-eyed male, whose experience is worth more than the strength of his youth. Inside this desperate formation are the females and the young. And at its very heart, a space is made for Ella and her infant, with Rack on one side and another female on the other, ready to support her if she stumbles. They step out from the relative safety of the acacia grove into the open savanna. The sun is a hammer. The yellow grass, taller than they are, closes in around them. Every rustle is a potential death. They are a small island of flesh and bone in an ocean of teeth and claws. They do not run. They walk with a deliberate, tense pace, trying to conserve precious energy for 100 agonizing paces. There is nothing. Then, a flicker of movement to their left. The Dino Fellas, shadowing them, its golden coat in near-perfect camouflage. It is not attacking. It is waiting. It knows their route is dictated by the need for water, for a defensible new home. It is waiting for a stumble, for a single member to lag behind, for the new mother to falter. The clan draws tighter, a single, multi-limbed organism driven by one instinct: protect the center. Kane issues a low growl, not of aggression, but of warning. We see you. We are not yet beaten. The cat holds its distance. It can afford to wait. Their ancient history is not one of glorious hunts, but of grim, exhausting journeys like this one, where the only victory is reaching the next horizon. They find it as the light begins to fail a jumble of granite boulders, a place where their backs will not be exposed, with a trickle of clean water seeping from a crack in the stone. They collapse, not in relief, but in a state of profound, collective exhaustion. The infant, safe for now, latches onto its mother. The cost of its life has been measured in the clan's hunger, its fear, its spent energy, in the silent record of prehistory. This small, brutal drama is a single, vital heartbeat. There is no monument to their vigil, no song to their courage. If we could dig here, if archaeology could peel back the layers of time, we would find only the scattered, forgotten bones of those who did not make it. But what we would not see is the true artifact they forged in those for days, a blueprint for us. The instinct to form a shield around the vulnerable, to share the last grub, to face the darkness together for the sake of a future you will not see. This is the legacy. This struggle is the bedrock of our own compassion, the ancient echo that compels us to protect our own. How much of that exhausted, desperate, and fiercely loyal clan still walks in us today? This is the Chronicle. We do not judge the fallen, nor do we praise the victors. We simply bear witness to the cost of the climb.
March side by side.
What happens when the greatest threat comes not from the outside, but from within?